There's something extraordinary about you, chosen one, something that sets you apart from everyone else. You've felt it, haven't you? That undeniable sense of purpose, the awareness that you are not here by accident, but by divine design. This purpose is not without challenges. You've faced struggles, battles, and betrayals, yet here you stand, undefeated. The reason is simple. God has surrounded you with a shield of unbreakable protection. No matter how fierce the storm, no matter how dark the night, you remain untouched because of His divine intervention. The life of a chosen one is not an easy path. From the moment you accepted your calling, or perhaps even before you realized it, forces have risen against you. People may have misunderstood you, rejected you, or even plotted against you. It might feel like you've been walking a lonely road, but remember this: you are never alone. From the heavens above, the Lord watches over you. His angels encamp around you, ensuring that no harm comes your way. The Bible reminds us in Psalm 91:11, "For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." This divine promise is not just a comforting thought, it's an unshakable truth that defines your existence. You walk under a protective covering so powerful that no force in the universe can penetrate it. This is why the attacks of your enemies fail time and time again. They don't understand why their schemes don't succeed, but you do. It's because you serve a God who has already declared victory over your life. Your light terrifies the darkness. Those who carry negativity, envy, and ill intentions are naturally drawn to you, not to help you, but to try to extinguish your flame. They can sense the divine favor on your life, and it disrupts their comfort in their own shadows. But their efforts to harm you are futile. They don't realize that every trap they set for you is a trap they set for themselves. Proverbs 26:27 tells us, "Whoever digs a pit will fall into it. If someone rolls a stone, it will roll back on them." This divine justice operates in your favor, chosen one. Think back to the moments in your life when harm seemed inevitable. Maybe it was a financial crisis, a health scare, or an emotional betrayal. At the time, it felt like the world was closing in on you, but somehow you emerged from the chaos stronger and wiser. This wasn't coincidence, it was divine protection at work. God has been your shield, your fortress, and your deliverer. The storms you've survived are a testament to His power and faithfulness. Enemies may gather against you, but their plans will always fail. Isaiah 54:17 declares, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." Notice that it doesn't say weapons won't form. They will. The enemy will try to use fear, doubt, and even the people closest to you to distract and destroy you. But these attacks cannot touch you because God has already decreed that they will not succeed. Even in the spiritual realm, where unseen battles rage, you are protected. The devil knows he cannot touch your soul because it is sealed with the blood of Christ. Remember Job in the Bible? Even when Satan sought to test him, God placed boundaries around his life. You may touch what he has, but you cannot lay a finger on him. This same divine boundary exists for you. The forces of darkness can only go so far before they are stopped by the hand of God. Chosen ones, understand this. Your protection is not a privilege, it's your birthright. God chose you for a mission, and nothing, no enemy, no force, no circumstance can derail His plans for you. Those who rise against you will find themselves frustrated, defeated, and confused. They won't understand why their words, actions, and schemes hold no power over you. But you will. You'll know that the Creator of the universe is standing guard over your life, ensuring that no harm comes your way. This protection isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. God doesn't simply want you to endure, He wants you to flourish. The obstacles you've faced have only strengthened your faith and refined your character. Your enemies may see your struggles, but they don't see your victories, the quiet moments when God intervened and made a way where there was none. As a chosen one, you are walking proof of God's power and goodness. You are living a story of resilience and redemption, a testimony that no harm can come to those who are covered by His grace. Your light shines brighter because of the battles you've endured, and no darkness can overcome it. Chosen ones, there's a reason why no attack, no scheme, and no enemy can bring you down. It all lies in the divine plan that God has ordained for your life. When the Creator of the universe has set you apart for a higher purpose, no weapon formed against you can prosper. This isn't just a comforting phrase, it's a spiritual law that operates in your favor. You're walking in a reality where harm may try to touch you, but it cannot succeed because God's plan for you supersedes any earthly or spiritual opposition. Let's take a moment to understand this on a deeper level. When God created you, He infused you with gifts, wisdom, and resilience that go beyond the ordinary. He didn't just set you on this journey unprepared. He equipped you with everything you need to fulfill your purpose. But these gifts and this calling make you a target. The enemy sees your potential, your light, and your connection to God, and it terrifies him. It's not just about you being a chosen one, it's about what you represent. You are a living testimony of God's power, a reflection of His goodness, and a force for positive change in the world. Have you ever wondered why certain people seem to have an issue with you for no apparent reason? Why some are quick to gossip, lie, or try to tear you down? It's because your presence disrupts their comfort in mediocrity and darkness. Your very existence is a reminder of what they lack, the peace, favor, and purpose that comes from walking with God. This makes them uncomfortable, and in their discomfort, they lash out. But what they fail to realize is that their attempts to harm you are like arrows hitting an impenetrable shield. Psalm 23:5 says, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows." This verse is a powerful declaration of your position as a chosen one. God doesn't just protect you, He blesses you in front of those who sought to harm you. Imagine the frustration of your enemies as they watch you rise above every obstacle they placed in your path. They see you thriving, succeeding, and growing, and it confuses them. They don't understand that it's not just your strength, it's God's hand on your life. It's important to recognize that this divine protection doesn't mean you won't face challenges. On the contrary, your journey as a chosen one is marked by trials and tests. But here's the difference. While others might be crushed by these struggles, you emerge stronger. The fire that was meant to destroy you becomes the very thing that refines you. God uses every trial to prepare you for greater things, and in doing so, He turns what was meant for harm into something that works for your good. Romans 8:28 reminds us, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Your enemies are not just physical, they're spiritual as well. The Bible tells us in Ephesians 6:12, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places." This means that some of the battles you face aren't visible, but they're real nonetheless. The good news is that you're not fighting these battles alone. God has assigned angels to watch over you, to fight on your behalf, and to ensure your victory. The story of Elisha in 2 Kings 6:16-17 is a perfect example of this divine protection. When Elisha's servant saw that they were surrounded by an enemy army, he panicked. But Elisha told him, "Do not be afraid, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them." Then Elisha prayed for the servant's eyes to be opened, and he saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire, God's army protecting them. Chosen ones, you have this same protection. Even when it seems like you're surrounded, God's army is fighting for you. Another reason why no harm can come to you is because of the authority you carry. As a chosen one, you've been given spiritual authority to overcome every attack. Luke 10:19 says, "I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you." This authority isn't just symbolic, it's real and it's powerful. When you walk in faith, speak life, and declare God's promises, you activate this authority and render the enemy powerless. Your enemies cannot harm you because their power is limited, but your God is limitless. They operate out of jealousy, fear, and hate, but you operate out of love, faith, and divine purpose. These higher frequencies not only protect you, but also elevate you above their attacks. When they throw stones, God uses those stones to build a foundation for your success. Chosen ones, as we reach the conclusion of this message, let's reflect on the undeniable truth that victory is already yours. The enemy cannot harm you, not because of your own power, but because of the divine strength that surrounds you, protects you, and empowers you every day. The attacks they send your way are nothing but distractions. Distractions that will only drive you closer to your destiny. They cannot touch you, and this is not by coincidence. This is the unshakable foundation of God's purpose for your life. When you truly understand this divine protection, you will begin to walk with a different level of confidence. The chosen ones are not just individuals who have been marked by God for greatness. They are the ones who have been armed with His power, His favor, and His love. You are a vessel through which God's greatness is displayed. Therefore, no matter how intense the opposition or how overwhelming the situation may seem, you are destined to overcome. Victory has already been secured. Remember, God does not give up on His chosen ones. Once He calls you, He equips you, and no force, whether it be physical, emotional, or spiritual, can override that calling. His commitment to you is eternal. In Psalm 121, 7-8, it says, "The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going both now and forevermore." This is your assurance. Your coming and going, your every step, are watched over and protected by the Creator of the universe. This divine protection doesn't mean that life will always be easy or free of obstacles. In fact, the journey may sometimes feel daunting, but the truth remains that God is with you every step of the way. As you walk in His protection, you will encounter challenges, but you will never face them alone. God's hand is on you, guiding you, strengthening you, and shielding you from the forces that seek to harm you. Let's take a moment to recall some biblical examples of how God's chosen ones have been divinely protected throughout history. Think about Daniel in the lion's den. He was thrown into a den of hungry lions, yet he emerged unharmed because God's protection was on him. The lions couldn't touch him, and no matter how many times the enemy tried to destroy him, God had a plan for Daniel that could not be undone. Just like Daniel, you too will emerge from your trials stronger, wiser, and more anointed than ever before. Think also of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who were thrown into a fiery furnace for refusing to bow down to the king's idol. They walked through the flames, unscathed, because God was with them in the fire. The flames couldn't burn them, and the heat couldn't harm them. This is the level of protection you have access to as a chosen one. Whatever trials you face, know that God is right there with you, ensuring that no harm will come your way. Your enemies will watch, baffled and confused, as you continue to rise despite their best efforts to destroy you. They will wonder how it's possible that every attack they've launched against you has failed. They will be left with no explanation other than the truth. God's hand is upon you. The same God who protected Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is the same God who is protecting you right now. When you feel as though you are walking alone, remember that you are never truly alone. The Bible tells us in Deuteronomy 31:6, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." This is the promise you hold on to. Your divine protection is not temporary, it's eternal. God is with you in every season of your life, and He will never abandon you. As a chosen one, you are not just protected, but you are also equipped to move forward in power. You have a purpose that is greater than any obstacle or enemy. No matter how many people come against you, no matter what schemes are devised to take you down, God's plan for you will prevail. It's time to step into the fullness of your calling, knowing that God has already paved the way. Your enemies are powerless in comparison to the Almighty God who fights for you. As you continue to walk in your divine purpose, you will see more victories, more breakthroughs, and more blessings than you ever thought possible. As we conclude, I want to remind you once more, you are protected, you are loved, you are chosen. No weapon formed against you will prosper. The victory is already yours, and nothing can stop the divine destiny that has been set for you. Trust in God's protection, trust in His timing, and trust in His plan. You are walking in victory, and there is no harm that can come your way. God's hand is upon your life, and He will never let you go. Keep moving forward in faith, chosen ones. Your victory is secure.